Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this right here is Tom Clark's Main Event. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. We are fast approaching the end of the year. It is December 30th. How's your week been? Happy Friday to you. Good to see everybody here today. Let's get the banner up and running here if we can. This is episode number 294. How you like that, baby? 6 episodes left until we reach episode number 300. I, for one, cannot wait. It's been a long time coming. Can't wait to get there. Going to be very cool to get there. I mean, 300 episodes. We're up to episode 124. 124 of the 6M podcast. If you've never watched or, listen to the 6M podcast, it's an audio podcast. We focus on movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. We do a little bit of everything to give you some kind of idea of what we're talking about. Let me indulge me for just a moment. Let me tell you about what we've got going on. The latest episode was our review of Abbey Road, the classic Beatles album. The week before that was our Christmas episode, Trading Places. Preceded that by Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, The Blueprint to the Curse, Glass, our tribute to Kevin Conroy, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Hellboy 2004, What's Going On, our album review by the classic and legendary Marvin Gaye, our face-off commentary. You get the idea, right, kids? Lots of good stuff to be found in the 6M podcast. Please go subscribe today. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, it's an audio pod. It's not a video pod. You don't have to worry about looking at this ugly mug. And I have a various array of guests in the guest chair. More often than not, however, it's Mr. Phil Lindsay. Shout out to Phil. He and the guys at Grapsody recently interviewed Mr. Tony Khan this past Friday before Christmas. So go check that out. Grapsody on the YouTube, kids. They killed it, as I knew they would. Those guys are doing the Lord's work over there, so good on them, doing great stuff. So please go subscribe to the Grapsody podcast today. We here at the Main Event will always support those guys. And again, we appreciate everyone tuning in here today. I suspect we won't have a lot of people tuning in. It is a holiday weekend. People are probably traveling right now, still probably out of town, I would suspect, which is why we did not have the Christmas episode last week. It was the week before on the 16th. How was your Christmas? How was everybody's holiday, baby? Did everybody have a good Christmas? Let's see what we got going on. Chad, too bad. What's going on? Gerald, good to see you. Chad says, I'm taking a year off from anything wrestling related. Hey, go with God, brother. Brendan, doing good, man. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, David Down Under. Good to see you, my friend. Alma, how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome back to the show. Hope you guys had the best Christmas ever. Tim, Carlos, you guys are the best. Gene, what's going on? Mean Gene Lillis is back, ladies and gentlemen. Sugar Shane, what's going on? Guys, I know there's not a lot of you here. I'm hoping we can get some more numbers here to join us today. We may take 2 weeks off next year, just so we could let people travel and do what it is they're going to do with their families. So yeah, again, thanks much for hanging out with us. Thanks for taking the time. You guys are the best. So if you will, please smash the like button. And please share this link on your pages. It means loads to me. I don't know that we're going to go a full hour. I'm going to open the floor up since it's our last episode of 2022. I want to give you guys and gals the chance to talk, to speak your minds. Again, if you'll like the pod, like this stream, and share it on your respective Facebook pages, it would be greatly appreciated. Again, thank you very much, as always, for your time and attention. Christmas here at the House of Clark was good. I have no complaints. We had the best time. Family, friends, everything in between. Dude, again, I've got nothing to complain about, baby. It's all good where I'm at. And I hit the right button on the first shot. How you like that, Jack? That never happens. I need to start labeling these things. How's that? That or this? I think I look better right here. Is that too bright or not too or too dim? I should say. Let's go up just a tad here. Oh, too low, baby. Try it again. There we go. Let's see, Robbie. I'll check out the photo. I appreciate you, my friend, as always. Everybody sending out shout outs to Don West. Yes, to the family, friends, and fans of Mr. Don West. That guy could hawk a pay-per-view, couldn't he? He could get on there and sell a show. So, yeah, the business will miss him for sure. Happy Festivus to you, Gerald. Happy Life Day, kids. So there you go. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, however you celebrate it. It's not just Merry Christmas, kids. It was cold, my friend. You're absolutely right. HVW owner promoter Gary Benfield here with us in the house. Everyone, please wish Gary Happy New Year. Yep. Charlotte, yep, as well, sending out well wishes. Charlotte, we're doing good. Hope you are as well. Cherie, good to see you. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. Do I think tonight is the night that Roman turns on Sammy? So I'm going to put it to you this way. In terms of what we're talking about here, because we've taken the Roman question before, and I want to address it here again. I don't want to see anyone turn on Sammy. You want to know why? Because it's low hanging fruit. It's just way too easy. It's way too easy. I just don't want to see it. Now, does that mean I think they won't do it? Absolutely not. They probably will. Will it be tonight? I don't know. I think it would be a shame because, again, it's just way too easy to do that, in my opinion. It just seems like it's too cheap. It's too easy. It's like going to a city and the first thing you do is rip the local sports team. Well, that's cheap heat. I just don't know what would be the need or the reason to kick Sammy out. Which Uso is it? That's Sammy's his boy and it has been for a long time. If anybody turns on Sammy, it'll probably be him. But there again, I don't know if I want to see anybody turn on Sammy. What would be the point of turning on Sammy? What story is going to be told? What story is there to tell by turning on Sami Zayn? Is Sami Zayn going to face Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Championship? Sure. Is he going to win? No. So, why do it other than create a story? And by the way, if that does happen and he does face Roman and loses, then what happens from that point on? What happens then? Where does he go then? After you face the biggest star in the company and lose, what's the next step for you? What's the next thing to do? I don't have answers. I'm just asking. It's a legitimate question. Yes, this is going to be a loose format show, kids. If anybody's curious, there you go. Mean Gene says it was 26 degrees in Florida. You ain't, listen, you're not, 2 weeks, it was a Christmas Eve. It was like 12 degrees here, low of 7 degrees. Yeah, nah. Oh, yeah. Of course, I'm in North Carolina. You know what we say here? If you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes, it'll change. I'm just saying. Uh-oh. We have... listen, I don't know who this person is, hawking some kind of wrestling show. I assume you are not a real person, so you's about to get banned up out of here. There you go. You have been blocked and your comment has been deleted. That's right, because I don't do spam up in my show. I don't do the spam up in my show. You hear me? Brendan says it was negative 45 and my God. Well, don't you know who won the pony? That'd be Brendan. Holy freaking Lord. Are you kidding me? My God in heaven. Double V. What's up, dude? How are you doing? Rufus Carroll. What a great name. Legit. I agree. Why? And again, Rufus, I asked the question, what's the point? If you tell me, hey, Tom, there's a great story to be told in a separation. Okay, cool. What is it? I legit want to know. If you can make the case for turning on Sammy and make it make sense and make me want to see it. Eric Jackson, what's going on, my friend? Gene says Sammy's one of the reasons I watch the Bloodline. I would suspect a lot of people would agree with you, actually. What's up, Ray? Ray all days here, kids. Ray's all day. Ray all day is here, kid. Sorry. Claudio and yeah, dude, Claudio and John Moxley are just, when you have two guys who are independently that freaking good, and you put those two guys together in any sort of combination, whether it's a tag team or whatever, then you know what you're looking at. You're looking at something that's going to probably be pretty fun to watch and pretty cool to get into. And that's exactly what we saw with those two guys. I hope the Blackpool Combat Club continues. I don't see any good reason to disband it. I really don't. I just don't know why. They've got those cool warm-ups. I didn't get a Blackpool Combat Club warm-up, even though I wanted one. I took this week off as well, kids. Yeah, I took this week off as well. It was glorious. First time I've got to do that in my professional career in my life. Quite nice, actually. I have nothing to be, again, I've got nothing to complain about. Literally nothing. So yeah. Yeah, again, I'd love to have that warm up, but Santa Claus didn't bring me that this year. But you know what's cool is that I didn't get visited by three spirits on Christmas Eve. So I must have done something right this year, right? Right? Am I right? All right. Am I right? Or am I right? Or am I right? Right. Right. Everyone, please welcome everybody. Everyone, I get all my taglines screwed up. Everyone, please take a moment to hit the smash and hit the like button for me. I'd appreciate it. Share the link on your page if you would do that for me. Again, I would greatly appreciate it. You guys, the best ever. And again, thanks for watching. This is episode number 294. This is the final episode of 2022. We are 6 episodes away from the Big 300. We're officially in season 9. The show began in 2014, and I count 2014 as the first season. So technically speaking, next year I'll be marketing the main event as 10 years of Tom Clark's main event, because it did start in 2014. So even though next year will be season 10, do you guys see what I'm saying? I don't count the beginning of the season to the end of the season as one season, which means it would have been counted in 2015, or you know what I mean? Yeah, 2015. Right. Oh man. So I count it as beginning in 2014. So there you go. So that's the point behind that. So next year I'll be marketing this as 10 years of Tom Clark's main event. Mean Gene, I'm glad you asked. The celebration for 300, what's it going to be, you ask? Well, first of all, 300, you're going to see a brand new intro to the show. You're going to hear music. You're going to hear, you're going to see new graphics. I've been considering the possibility of changing the name of my production company, Boring Studios. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I've got reasons that I may do it. Are they good enough to justify all the work that'll go into it? Probably not. Because, once you decide on the name, you got to go secure the socials for that name. Hope that no one has copyrighted the name, that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know, dude. I got some ideas. That's all. And also, Gene, the Tom Clark's main event dancers. That's fun times to be had as well. There you go. 9 years, 2023. You're right, Vic. You're right. 2020. You're right. Your math is right. What I'm saying is I started the show in 2014. You see what I'm saying? I started the show in 2014. I got the math right. I promise you. You see what I mean? It started in 20. Never mind. You're going to make my head hurt. Don't make my head hurt. It's the end of the week. I've had a really good week. I've had a great holiday week. Everything's gone great. Sugar Shane says, got the best Christmas present. Got an 8x10 photo of the cast of Classic Memphis Wrestling, and every picture was autographed. Wow. Excellent. Well done. What a great gift that is, man. What a great gift that is. Best 7 series for the Trios Tag Team Championships. Got great series so far. Space Falls Can't Anywhere. Yeah, those 6 guys are just destroying each other. I mean, not really, but it looks good. I mean, again, it's one of those things where it's like, is it overkill? We discussed this in weeks prior to this show. Is it overkill what we're seeing with this match? Well, yeah, of course it is. And how do you force your reigning champions into a best of 7 when they are the champions? If you wanted to do a best of 7, why not crown these 3 guys as interim trios tag team champions? See what I'm saying? Like they do with the other titles. Why not just crown them interim tag team champions? That way, when the Elite comes back, you have a reason to have 3 against 3 to crown the official trios tag team champions. Wouldn't that make more sense? Like, I don't care, but it just seems to be like, I don't know. It feels weird, doesn't it? Plus, it's a whole lot of the same spots, a whole lot of the same. I'm not hating on it. I enjoyed the matches. Is it enough for me to keep coming back for more? I'm gonna watch. Am I crazy about it? I could take it or leave it, to be honest with you. After the first couple, 2, 3, whew, it just seems to be like it gets a little redundant. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Hmm, yeah. Robert has been here since 2014. Dude, have you been watching the whole time? You have, haven't you? Good on you. Thank you, dude. 2-part question. 1, who was the nicest person that after the interview you got to hang out with? Part 2, who was a wrestler that was just so uncomfortable to interview, or may have stepped into the rude moments during the interview? The nicest one that I physically got to hang out with was Matt Hardy. I've done a lot of interviews over the phone and online through the years because it's much easier that way, right? We're in an online world, kids. You know how that goes. But I actually interviewed Matt Hardy in person. So, yeah, so I got to hang out with him before and after the show. Great guy, by the way. And he's a class act. I got nothing negative to say about Matt Hardy. And this is before he cleaned up his act. This was years ago. And he was still a great guy. Really a great guy. I don't know about uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable to interview. Greg Valentine was a challenge. He's a nice guy, but it was a challenge because he gave me one-word answers, and he was very low and slow with his tone and his, the cadence of his voice. And he was like, he kind of left me hanging a couple of different times, and he kind of made a crude comment during the interview, and I don't think he meant to say it. It wasn't. I'm not gonna say. Excuse me, choked up. I'm not going to say racist, but it was somewhat of a slur. Not bad, not bad. Don't anyone take it the wrong way. It was nothing terrible. In fact, it just kind of, he was using it as a descriptive word. It wasn't the N word or anything crazy. I don't want to paint a bad picture of Greg Valentine. He was very nice to me. But he said something that could have been construed as something else. He immediately caught himself and he goes, "Oh, maybe you can take that out." And I was like, "Yeah, I think I'll take that out." And I kind of laughed. I said, "It's all good, man. I got you." So I deleted that before the interview, before I published it. But he was the toughest because there again, he was just his cadence. He was low and slow again. Very brief answers. I couldn't really get him to open up about anything. I tried. Once he started talking, he was fine. But again, he wasn't like talking my ear off. And the guys who talk my ear off are the ones that are fun to interview. Big Show's a great guy. Big Show gave me a great interview. Very, very polite dude. Randy Orton can be standoffish. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. He wasn't with me. He was very professional. Rob Van Dam was he was no kind of way with me. Nothing bad. But like he was a little, I don't know. It's kind of hard to put into words. I thought it could have been just a little bit nicer. Not nicer, but he was a little bit, maybe standoffish is the right word. I don't know if that's the right word or not. Maybe standoffish is the right word, perhaps. But there again, it was nothing bad, nothing I lost my mind over, nothing I lost sleep over. Let's see here now. My thoughts on WWE signing Dragon Lee. Okay. So here's what I'll tell you. The thing about Dragon Lee's a really, really good worker, and he's going to fit in. This guy could fit in anywhere he goes. Are they going to allow him to do the sort of things that he's done in other companies? Probably not. Does that mean he's going to be unhappy? Does that mean they're going to throttle him or choke him or hold him down? I'm not saying that they're going to. I'm not even suggesting that they are, but I do believe honestly that they're gonna put the governor on him, and he won't be able to do a lot of the things he could do in the Indies or New Japan or AEW or anywhere else, to be honest with you. But you know what? That's par for the course for that company. It's nothing any of us should be surprised about. If he's happy and he's getting a good payday and it works for him and his family, go with God, brother. Dude, and best of luck to him. And I hope everything works out the way he wants it to. I hope they utilize him the right way, and I hope everything is cool with him. And I hope he makes a ton of money and wins a belt or two. That'd be fun. Let's see. You see, best friends will break up, and was our dinner and coffee New York City a top? Of course, top 10, Ray. Top 10 of the year. Top 10. I'll be traveling again in 2023. Hopefully back to New York in September. And if so, Ray, I'll be giving you a shout. We'll hang out again. Possibly to Denver coming up in February and March. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's quite a few events that my company is involved with. I don't always get the opportunity to travel to every one of them, but the ones that I get invited to, I never turn down. I love to travel, actually. Some people hate that stuff. I have no problem with the traveling at all. What I have a problem with really are delayed flights. That stuff sucks. Who enjoys that? Who am I to say that? I mean, honestly, it's, you know, yeah. No, everyone hates that, but that's the only part about the travel that I don't like. Actually, being on the plane, I'm good with that. I enjoy traveling, honestly. There again, kids, if you will, like the show if you haven't done that already, share the stream if you will. I got a few questions I want to throw out to the audience here. If we're talking about what do you think about 2022? What's your thoughts on it? Who do you think? Let's start at the top and go work our way down. Who do you believe is the wrestler of the year for 2022? And we can use WWE guys in here also. It doesn't have to be just AEW and New Japan or whatever. I mean, WWE calls their guys superstars, it's whatever. And listen, if you think that the best wrestler of the year was a female, then say it. It's cool with me. Who do you got? In your opinion, who was the best talent, best worker of the year? Who do you think? It's hard for me to ever pick against Okada because Okada is the single best professional wrestler in the world, my opinion. He doesn't need the title to be that, and he doesn't need to be booked as the top guy to be that, even though he usually is and does. But Okada is the greatest of all, not all time, but the greatest of his generation, in my opinion. That's how I feel. And he's the greatest wrestler today working, but that's me. But who had a better 2022? Did Okada have a better 2022? Probably not. MJF had a really good 2022, excellent 2022, actually. He got on TV a lot. He was the buzzword. He created controversy. He got people talking. People were invested in him. He out popped most of the locker room on most nights. If that's how you gauge the best wrestler of the year, then I'd say MJF has got to be in your top 5, right? A lot of you are saying Jon Moxley. I would agree with that. Jon Moxley has got to be top 3. Is he my number 1? He could very well be my number 1 best wrestler of the year, top wrestler of the year anyway. The guy did everything. He's that guy that, when it's time to hand the ball to somebody, Jon says, I'll take it. There's 2 different kinds of talents in this business. There's the guy that takes the ball because he kind of has to, because they don't have anybody else, perhaps. And then there's the guy that really wants the ball. Jon Moxley really wants the ball, much like the other John Cena really wanted the ball all the time. And he got it. And Moxley wants it all the time, and he gets it, and he should. And just like Cena, Mox is probably the hardest working guy in that company. He's the guy that puts himself out there. He loves AEW. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you're Tony Khan, there's one guy you keep happy above all others. That's Jon Moxley. Now, they don't need Chris Jericho taking a walk. Don't misunderstand. But if you had a choice of who to keep happy, who do you keep happy? Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho. Now, smart money says you keep them both happy, yes. But if you are unable to do that, then who do you keep happy? Well, my money's on Jon Moxley. Why in the world would you ever take that guy off and make him leave? Carlos says Roman in the bloodline. Hard to argue that. Hard to argue that, dude. For real. V says Rey Mysterio is being advertised for EVW in Tijuana, Mexico. EVW. Yeah, I mean, supposedly Triple H is going to let things happen on the side, but it's not going to be with AEW. It won't be with it. Maybe with Impact, perhaps, but probably not AEW. Possibly New Japan. Yeah, I mean, he's starting to let up a little bit, and he should. If all the rumors of Vince coming back end up being proven true, then we'll see what happens there. Brandon says, I would say best worker was tied between Seth and Cody of 2022. Cody missed a lot of time in this calendar year. I get it. I've got a bold prediction for you, ladies and gentlemen. I think 2023 will be Cody Rhodes' year. That's how I feel. Tim says Jamie Hayter and Jay White. Hard to argue against Jay White. Jay White had a really, really good year as well. Really good year. Yeah, so who's the wrestler of the year? Everybody? I mean, I think Mox is probably top spot. Followed very honestly. I mean, it's kind of cool that he and Roman are considered number one and number one in both their respective companies, and possibly number one, number two, and greatest year of 2022. It's pretty cool. I dig that. Hard to argue against Britt Baker. Bianca Belair had a really good year. Jamie Hayter had a really good year leading, coming out of 2022, I would say. Did she have a great year overall? She had a really good year. Do I consider it great? I don't know. Depends on what your opinion of great is and how you view it. People love her, man. Why Jamie Hayter continues to be booked as a heel, I'll never understand it. They've got a baby face. They've got a top baby face waiting to happen with that girl, with that lady, excuse me. And why she's not booked in that regard, I don't get it. But here's what I'll tell you. There's only going to be so much amount of time that Britt Baker is going to allow Jamie Hayter to continue to hold that title and be her cheerleader going down to the ring and back up from the ring when the match is over. Because that's going to change at some point. You would think it would have to. You use those buttons, kids, because those buttons are going to be changing when the show changes at episode number 300. Buttons will not be going away, but I have a plan of revamping the buttons and adding some new things and that kind of stuff. So let's see. Robbie says Cody Rhodes because he let that be with a lackluster character Stardust, reinvent himself. For sure. Well, if you're going to say WB comeback of the year, Cody Rhodes for sure. Brandon, you beat me to it. Tag team of the year, FTR, hands down. I'll say FTR, hands down. They had an excellent year. I think the Acclaim could be voted number 2. Possibly the Usos are in there as well. New Day, it's hard to ever vote against New Day for anything, right? You could make the case for that for sure. Yeah, Briscoes have a great year every year. You know what I mean? Because they're just so phenomenal. They're so good independently of each other, and they're also such a phenomenal tag team. I mean, dude, they're one of the best tag teams in the history of the business. That's I really believe that's really what I feel. Really how I feel. Will says, Harley, I'm here though. Down in your next neck to the neck of the you're down in my neck of the woods. Are you really, Will? Cool. Where are you at, man? Don't dox yourself, dude. Don't give me your exact location, but whereabouts in the Carolina are you? The Carolina. Because there's only one. I'm not a hater. I'm just teasing. It's all good. Yeah, again, FTR, hard to pick against FTR. We didn't see as much of Sting in 2022 as I wanted to see, unless I'm fuzzy. He's not been seen a whole lot here lately. If there's such an award called the You Still Got It Award, I would suggest that Sting gets that award. Most disappointing moment of the year would have to go to the CM Punk brawl backstage. That stuff didn't have to happen. It was never necessary. I mean, again, we've spoken at great length about Punk here on the show. I've gave you guys my thoughts on it, my take, my feelings. I continue to be disappointed by what happened. I continue to have a problem with the way he just seems to laugh this off when he's doing other things now. I don't think it's very funny. And he doesn't owe me an explanation. I'm no one to CM Punk, kids. I really am no one to CM Punk, and I'm totally okay with that. But I kind of don't like that he laughs it off as if it doesn't matter to him when coming to that company meant the world to him. And he told you it did. And now he laughs like it doesn't matter. And that kind of sucks. But you know what? I assume there's a gag order to some degree because he's still not talking. No one's talking, which I kind of like that actually. So there you go. Mikey Whaley is from Jacksonville, North Carolina. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Will is in the South, Kakalaki. All right. Tom, last week between Hater and Sheeta versus Arena was going. Yeah, dude, I'm actually watching that again right now. People love Jamie Hayter, dude. People love Jamie Hayter. You kidding me? And boy, I was going to say that Hikaru Shida has come a long way. And that's not to suggest that Hikaru Shida couldn't work to begin with. Maybe she's come a long way in my mind in terms of what I want to see from a wrestler between the ropes. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say, is that for me personally, she's come a long way. Because she has, for me. Tim says 2023 will be the year of King Adam Cole. Alma says faction of the year, Blackpool Combat Club and the Bloodline. I would agree with that. Hard to pick against either one of those two factions. Hard to pick against one of those two factions for sure. Robbie says, here is a stumper for you to think about. And yes, it's Mount Rushmore. Oh, God. You always do this to me. There are a few who do the hillbilly gimmick in any organization. Who is the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers who do the best hillbilly or Southern type gimmick? Hillbilly Jim. How do you not include Hillbilly Jim? Even though Hillbilly Jim was the farthest thing from a hillbilly. But that was, Hillbilly Jim's his name. So there you go. Don't go messing with a country boy. Once you get that song in your head, baby, you're never coming back. You feel me? Never. So yeah. So I would say Hillbilly Jim's on that Mount Rushmore. You got 3 more spots. God, dude, that's a tough one. I'll say the Southern Boys, maybe. Smothers and Armstrong, right? Ooh, that's a tough one, man. And I don't even know if I classify them as hillbilly, but if you're saying Southern, I'll say the Southern Boys in there. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Brian Emerson says R.I.P. Don West. Yeah, for sure. Ooh, Dick Murdoch. Well done. Well done. Yeah, why not? Why not, right? Yeah. Makes sense. Let's see. Cherie says Jade has come a long way this year. Not her mic skills, but her in-ring skills. It's too bad we won't see Jade versus Charlotte or Jade versus Bianca. Why won't we see it? Never say never, Cherie. Just when you think you're not going to see something, it happens. I would never count either one of those two matches out. I think anything's in the realm of possibility in pro wrestling business. Anything can happen. So yeah. And you know what? I will give the devil her due. She has improved. Okay? She has improved. However, I still maintain, and it's okay if no one agrees. It's okay if no one gets it. It's okay if people want to sling arrows at me, whatever they want to say. If people want to love, if they want to love her to no end, and just call Jade Cargill the greatest female wrestler of her time. If they want to say those things, that's fine, I guess. You can go with God, brother, whatever you want to do. However, in my opinion, when we're talking about Jade, when I watch her in a ring, I don't only watch, pardon me for a moment, kids. I'm trying to get the camera to recenter here. There we are. Hi. When I watch pro wrestlers in a pro wrestling ring, I'm not just looking at the moves. I don't just watch the match. Body language between the moves. And those of you who watch and really study the matches know what I'm talking about. How do you hold your arms? Is your chest up? Are you looking? Are you acknowledging the crowd? Are you Are you deliberate with your movements? Are you tripping over your own 2 feet? What do you look like on the in-between times? And that comes with time. That comes with experience, neither of which she has a ton of yet, but she's getting there. And I suspect that give her another year in the ring, you're going to be looking at a pretty polished performer. Some would say she's polished now. I disagree, but that's my opinion. I don't know that I consider her polished now at all. Ray says, you think Banks, you talking about Mercedes Vernado? Yes. Is Mercedes going to AEW? There's rumors abounding. Tony's not answering the question. I wouldn't answer it either. Why spoil the surprise? I do believe we will see Mercedes in AEW. And I'll tell you this. For anybody that sits there and looks at me with a straight face and says, well, she better not do that, WWE won't take her back. You got to be high as a kite. It must be the best drug you ever smoked or has ever been grown on this planet to think that WWE wouldn't take her back in a heartbeat. The performer formerly known as Sasha has left twice now. Okay, twice. They took her back the first time. They would guarantee take her back a second time. Well, no, I shouldn't say guarantee about anything in this business, right? Okay, but man, I need a beverage. Remember I used to have the coffee right here? I haven't had coffee up here in a while. Oh, I need coffee. I wonder if my kid's here. Let's see if he's here. If he is, he can make me some coffee. I'll bet he's not here. Watch this. We'll see. Excuse me for being all choked up. So yeah, I shouldn't say I guarantee. I don't guarantee anything in this business, baby. But the first time her and Bailey left, I said, "Ooh, what are we doing here?" And then it's like, I always advise you guys to always side with the talent and never side with the company, because it's not a good look. It's just not a good look, right? However, and so I didn't. But then she left again. And when sometimes there's smoke, there's sometimes fire. Okay. I'm not saying she's a problem backstage. I'm not saying that she gives anyone a fit or anything crazy. The only thing that I'm saying is that, she, again, where there's smoke, there could be fire. And I like her a lot. It's nothing personal. Gene said, can't understand why she got the belt in the first place and why she still has it. You're talking about Jade? Is that what you're talking about? I assume. No, Ray. He doesn't get to play that often, which sucks because it's his first year on the team, and I guess he's not getting to play all that often. He hustles like crazy. I think they're 2-8. I think it's pretty bad. 2-9. Yeah, they've had a really, really tough season for sure. Last game they played was a heartbreaker. They were up and they lost by 1 point at the end. Dude, it was tragic. I'm straight edge, Carlos. You should know this by now, my friend. These lips have never touched alcohol, and they never will. I mean, NyQuil, if that counts. Straight edge till the end, baby. Brino Royce, everyone, please welcome Mr. Brino Royce to the show. Shane LaRock, I'm talking about Austin. He could show up. He could show up, dude. We'll see what happens. Back to the Alamo. The Alamo question. The Mount Rushmore question. Robbie says, "My Hillbilly Jim, the Godwins, the Smoking Guns, and Hockey Top Man." Very good, but that's more than 4 people. Are you counting tag teams as one person? Because if you is, I guess that's okay. Hockey Top Man. How I forget about that clown? Sorry. You can like people and not like people. It's okay. I don't mean Wayne Ferris. Wayne Ferris could be the salt of the earth. Honky Tonk Man, hate the character. It worked for a good long time until it got to be so terrible that people just want him to go away. There is, ladies and gentlemen, Brino, back me up, Brino. There is such a thing as go away heat. Can you come back from it? Sure you can. It doesn't have to be a death sentence. But in my opinion, go away heat stems from stale booking. when they can't find anything else to do for you, but you're still being booked and your storylines aren't improving and you're not, even though you're getting title shots, your character never evolves. It's but you get booked. Nothing ever happens for you. That, in my opinion, causes go away heat. And I believe Honky Tonk Man, the last 2/3 of his career, had insanely hot. We're talking about scorching go away heat. He did with me because I'm like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to see this anymore. I no longer want to boo him. I just don't want to see him again because he brought nothing new to the table. I didn't set out to bash Honky Tonk character today, kids, right? Bleh, bleh, bleh. Haystacks Calhoun, man, no disrespect against Haystacks Calhoun. Haystacks was not a wrestler. Haystacks was in a ring and he did stuff that looked like pro wrestling, but Haystacks was an attraction. I think you can admit that. No one's calling Andre the Giant the greatest wrestler of all time or one of the best wrestlers. Now, if you want to say one of the best big men, and honestly, if the criteria for the question is best hillbilly wrestler, sure, Haystacks should be there. I'm just saying. But I think one of the reasons people are not talking about him is, number one, it's a long time ago, but not just that. Besides guys our age, who is still talking about Haystacks Calhoun? He's kind of fell off the radar to a large extent, and so has Elmer for sure. So it's funny because I heard this conversation. I think it was Matt Hardy's podcast where he was talking about, if you ask people right now today, who's the best tag team of all time? Do you know how many people are not going to say the Road Warriors? A lot of people are not going to say the Road Warriors. You know why? Because you might be asking a lot of 20-year-olds or 30 or possibly 40, and they may have a totally different answer. And that's okay, and it's not okay at the same time. Does that make sense? Like, it's not okay because we shouldn't forget the history of this business. And we can never forget that the Road Warriors are the greatest tag team of all time. Why? Because they made more money than anybody else did. Pound for pound in their era, they made more money than everybody else did. And that, in my opinion, qualifies them as being the best tag team of all time. Because every company that existed wanted them and booked them. And every payday they asked for, they got. And every time they were on the card, they filled the house. That is, in my opinion, the best tag team of all time. I can't sit here with a straight face and say the Dudley Boys are the greatest tag team of all time because I do not believe in my heart of hearts that the Dudley Boys sold out houses all across the country and the world. I do not believe that. However, when the Dudley Boys were red hot, would they be in their prime, okay, they didn't have to sell out houses all over the world. And when the houses were sold out, yes, they had help. Was it the Dudleys versus anybody? No. It was the Dudleys versus Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys. A combination of the three or a combination of the two or what have you. And that's what the Dudleys did. This is no disrespect to the Dudleys, and especially Bully Ray, who, man, he loves him some WWE, doesn't he? And he'll tell you all day, every day that he's right and everybody else is wrong. And I get it. He's the wrestler, not me. Totally understood. But if we're being honest with each other, you have to call it for what it is. And you really can't compare. It's not apples and apples. It's apples and oranges, right? Because honest to goodness, you're talking about two different areas of the business. The Dudleys didn't have to sell out houses. They didn't have to pack arenas because at that time, pro wrestling became an assortment. Pro wrestling was a variety show. That's how it was presented and how it's booked and how it really should have been the whole time. But as we know in the 80s and before, there was one top guy, and the top guy are the ones that people came to see, and they got others people to look at as well. But the way Vince booked it was different. Come see the entire show. So it's not really fair to the Dudleys at all. Rob says, I was an athletic type. I was water boy for my junior high school, and dad still came to my games. I still remember my dad. Oh, yeah, dude. I'm there for every game, dude. I'm there for every game. Wrestling is subjective, 100%. 100%. Couldn't say it better. Also, a question for you, Tom, the group. Who would everyone say is the wrestler who died before his career got to go to the stratosphere? I won't say die because he didn't die, but the guy that lost out. Okay, I've got two answers. I've got two answers, and I'm blanking on his last name. World class championship wrestling. Chris Candido is a good answer, Shane. Gino Hernandez. Thank you, Alma. You hit it. Gino Hernandez for sure. Gino Hernandez for sure. Because Gino was on the cusp of what he could have been in this business. Had Gino Hernandez went to work for Vince, things would probably have turned out differently. But, Gino Hernandez couldn't keep himself clean. Gino Hernandez was a partier, and Gino Hernandez was, taking drugs pretty extensively. And you can only do those things for such a period of time until your body says, that's enough. And that's not to make light of it. Them's just facts. So I would say Gino, number one. Number two, he's not left us, but I would say Magnum TA. Because Magnum TA, were it not for that accident, would have been a multiple-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. He would have been a multiple-time WWF World Heavyweight Champion. He would be considered, I think we'll be talking about Magnum in the same breath today as Dusty and as Ric Flair. And I believe that. That's how I feel. I think that's the great unknown. And if I could write or produce a movie based on a what-if scenario, it would be the Magnum TA story. I would love to do the Magnum TA story. That would be amazing to watch. Amazing to watch. Because I think, and again, Magnum's still with us. Thank goodness. But I'm saying in terms of his career. So there you go. Owen Hart, Ron says. I agree to a certain extent. Would Owen Hart have been booked as the guy? Now, we'll never know. Would Vince have ever booked Owen Hart as the guy? I would hope so. Regardless, we didn't want to lose Owen. And regardless, he died way too soon. If that's the criteria, who'd we lose too soon? Then absolutely Owen. If the question is, who did we lose too soon that was on his way to becoming something huge? I submit Owen Hart was big already. Was he as big as he could have been? Well, no, because he wasn't booked as the guy. But I don't want to nitpick. That's just me throwing it out there to you. But I agree. Losing him was tragic. The business is still feeling that to this day. Let's see. Cherie says draws. Interesting answer. Chris Von Erich, again, interesting answer. Eddie Gilbert, interesting. Yeah. If I say no to any of these, it makes me sound heartless. I don't mean to sound that way at all. At all. I don't want to sound that way at all. But again, I'm looking back at the original question before they were going to make it big. I would say Eddie Gilbert was already having a really, really nice career. But that's me. We also, side note, if you want to entertain it, how long before Sammy joins KO? It doesn't matter. KO will turn on him. Kevin Owens, the character, cannot be trusted. Kevin Owens, the character, is in this business for himself, and he doesn't care about you or anybody else. Kevin Owens, the character, will stab his own mother in the back and push a nun in front of a bus if it means getting a championship title shot. Kevin Owens, the character, is scum. Period. End of story. He's turned on Sammy before. He turned on Sammy. He turned on Jericho. Who else did he turn on? All he does is turn on his partners. It's horrible. It's like being a partner for Dirty Harry, except Dirty Harry shoots you. You don't get shot. Dirty Harry's the one to shoot you. Bam, you're done. Game over. I'm saying. And honestly, I'm okay with that. If that's how they want to book it, I'm okay with it. It seems from a kayfabe standpoint a little ridiculous that other wrestlers in that company don't get wise to it and say, wait a minute, this guy turns on everybody. I'm not going to tag with him. This is crazy. I'm not doing it. But no, everyone in that company goes, oh, I like Kevin. I'll tag with him. Okay. And they'll tag with him and say, we're best friends. No, we're not. No, we're not. But kayfabe in the pro wrestling business is a very tricky thing, kids. Because just when you think it makes sense, it don't make sense no freaking more, baby. My ring game on point. Look at this. They call me the Mandarin. I need 3 more rings, Jack. And I'll have it. You feel me? Bam. Or bang. I said bam. It's bang. Holy Lord. F that one up, didn't I? That's all right. I'm with an interesting answer. Chris Adams. A gentleman, Chris Adams. Yeah. Possibly. I love me some Chris Adams, dude. Again, another guy with a lot of freaking problems, man. A lot of issues, demons that he never defeated. It's hard. It's hard. Let's see. We've only got a few minutes left, kids. I got a hard out in about 5. I got to go pick up the niece and nephew for the weekend. But I got something else for you, and I want you to give me what you got. Don't hold back. I want you to give it to me. Ray, let's hit your question first. Wu-Tang or Beastie Boys, and part 2, Biz Markie or Rob Bass. Oof. I'll go Wu-Tang and Biz Markie. God, that's hard. And if Adam Cole invited you to a New Year's Day coffee tasting party and could bring some extra, could I come? And later wanted to see the new Avatar, could I come as well? Sure. You and Adam could go see Avatar. I have no interest. I never saw the first one. And he's not made a lot. Jim Cameron's not made a friend out of me, pal. You got a friend in me. I'm not singing that to James Cameron. Wanna know why? Because every chance he gets, he dumps on the MCU. Save the drama for your mama. Because I ain't interested. It's okay if you don't like it. I don't care. Go with God, brother. But every chance you get, I'll tell you something else about that Marvel Comics. Stop. Right? Am I right or am I right? All right, we're going to wrap up today with a couple of things. One, thank you guys so much for always supporting the show. You guys, it means the world to me. I very much appreciate it. When I'm not here, you want to know why I'm not here. When you're here, and you're hanging out, and I love you guys for it. This has been a great 2022 for yours truly. I got no complaints. There's no reason to sit here and gripe and complain about anything. There's no point in it. I'm not going to do it. I had a great 2022. Here's to a great 2023. I'm going to leave you with this. You hit me with one answer, and that's all you got. Give me the best pro wrestling company of the year. Go. And be honest. It's okay. I don't care what you say. It's fine with me. In your opinion, subjectively, objectively speaking, the best pro wrestling company of 2022. Hit me. There's 12 of you. I want 12 answers. I don't care who you say. It's fine. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. We got 2 AEW, 3 AEW, 2 WWE. 3 WWE. We're tied, baby. Is there going to be a tiebreaker? We got 3 and 3, baby. Is that how we end it? 6 people answered the question. There's 11 of you here now. The other 5 of you. Best pro wrestling company of the year for 2022. Go. I don't care who you say. It's whatever you think. Objectively speaking, in your opinion, Keith says Impact. We got a first vote for Impact. Cherie says Thai, AEW, and New Japan. Keep them coming, baby. I love it. Double V. Thank you, my friend, for hanging out. I appreciate you very much. All right, guys. We're going to get out of here. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today. Be sure to come back. We'll be back next Friday with the first episode of 2023. We've got another vote for AEW. AEW may be winning the game here in this very unofficial poll of top pro wrestling company of 2022. Again, 6 episodes to go. We've got 294s in the can when we officially sign off. So again, 6 episodes left till we get to the big 300. So there you are, kids. I appreciate you very much, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. Have a fantastic New Year. No matter what you do, no matter how you choose to celebrate the New Year, ring it in, whatever you choose to do, please be safe for the sake of you, your family, your friends, everybody around you, and everybody on the road. For God's sake, don't do anything like a friggin' idiot, or you and I cannot be friends anymore. And don't watch my show. Please, you know who you are. Be safe. Stay off the roads if you choose to party down, okay? I love you guys. I mean it very much so. I'm going to get out here now and be on the road myself. Again, thank you guys very much. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for an amazing 2022. And here's looking forward to 2023. I can't wait to see what we can accomplish this year. I can't wait to see what we can get done. And I can't wait to watch me some more pro wrestling. I love you guys. Have the best one. All right. And we'll talk soon. See you in a week. Have a great evening. Great weekend. I'm Clark's Main Event.